y'all, Daryl here. Welcome back to another episode of the Adventure Crusader. Today I'm going to be talking about a modular Molle storage system with a storage shelf which was purchased for me that I'm going to be installing in the rear of my 2003 Mitsubishi Montero Limited. Okay, so this modular Molle storage system is going to be installed in the back of my truck. So what it's going to do is the Molle panels are going to cover the window. It's going to use the location points of the grab handles in the back here. So this is actually going to possibly be moved up. So it's going to be more over top of the rear seat forward. But it's going to have the modular panels on both sides, and there's going to be a rack that goes across the back, or a shelf. Now the shelf is designed where it can be in 3 different configurations. So what I'm looking at doing is, with the refrigerator here, I'm looking at possibly taking this system out. My house battery, my Pajero 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries under here with some other storage. So I'm actually thinking about taking this system out possibly, and then moving the battery and everything higher up on the shelf. That way, if I should happen to be in a situation like Doc Martin where I was underwater, everything is up higher. So that's the plans. That way I can also put my recovery gear, my chainsaw. That's what I'm looking for, and make everything a little bit higher, but we'll see. So that's where it's going to go. This, I'm not sure if this is going to stay, but part of this may be getting chopped down. So I don't know. We'll see when I get there. But that's the location where it's going to be. All right. So here is the 2 boxes that were shipped for this modular Molle storage system. Okay. This was, I believe, purchased on Amazon by my buddy Doc Martin. I did some work for him, and we were just trading this out for the work I did for him. So, believe it or not, this was shipped, it looks like it was shipped out of China. And yeah, mainland China. And it only took a week to get here, which is crazy to think about that, when sometimes it takes a week for postage to get from, say, Missouri to Florida. Okay, so that's crazy. So this is the main box, which should have all the panels in it, and hopefully the instructions and hardware and everything. And this right here more than likely has the long rails for the storage system. Get this slid out. As you can see, everything's shipped and packed really good. Looks like some dampener panels, some brackets. Oh wow, these are to hold like shovels and axes and stuff like that. See? Pretty cool. I'll throw that back in there. More of the brackets. Looks like we got some insulation or deadening foam. Some more brackets. More bracketry. Oh, Velcro straps. Keep stuff strapped in. What else is in here? And a bag. That's pretty cool. Oh, a Molle bag. So you can attach that to the Molle panels. Hey, look at that. It's like a Molle dump bag. I have one of these on the back of my battle belt when I'm at the range instructing. Let's see, anything else? More stuff over here. Let's see, here's some smaller of those little brackets to hold axes or shovels, stuff like that. There's a bag of hardware and trim tool to get into the panels, more hardware. I'm assuming this will be non-alcoholic wipes, so if we'd have to do any double stick taping, and more hardware and a screwdriver. So we have an Allen wrench, a screwdriver, and a trim tool. Yep, the instructions. All right, so that's what we have in this box, and then here is all the different panels. All right, so I got my razor knife here, so let me just go ahead and start getting into some of this, and let's see if I can do it without scratching the surface up. But they got plenty of padding in this, which is nice. Keeps it from getting scratched. All right, so here's one of the panels. So as you notice, it already has, let's see if I can get in a little closer. So it already has, I guess would you be the riv nuts right here. And on the back, you can see how they're in. So that makes it nice. With those installed, you don't have to worry about like wrenches and stuff. So this is part of the shelf, and if you notice, they have their little badging right here. So this part right here more than likely will be facing the back door, and then so we have that. What else do we have in here? All right, the other part of the shelf. And the other side Molle. All right, guys, so the first thing what I have to do is I have to clean out the back area of the truck so I can gauge if I'm going to leave this in or take this out. All right, guys, so I'm ready to begin, and I'm looking at step one. It says install step spacer for the bottom bracket. Now, these are the bottom brackets. They're the ones with all the 3M tape. So there's going to be spacers in both of these areas. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remove the material right here and right here so I can gain access, and the spacer is going to go on the outside here so I can screw in from the other side. And good Lord, that is some intense. Man, look at that. That's like some super top secret Chinese 15 Gorilla Glue sticky stuff. I don't know, man. Alright. Dude, that's intense. Alright. Whew. Look at that. Ugh. That's some sticky stuff right there. Okay, so I got all 4 holes exposed. So now I just need to grab the spacers. So it looks like it says install the step spacer to the bottom bracket. Now that is showing the outside of the bracket. So this would be considered inside, this is the outside. It's the short screw. The short screw, yep, screws right on. All right, so step one is completed. I got the spacers attached to the bottom brackets, and as you can see, this is left, this is right. So I'm going to set those off to the side for right now, their appropriate sides. And then the second one says pry off the screw head, so that's the handles, install the upper bracket. So basically I'm going to have to take these handles off and put the brackets that they included in the place of the handles. So that's what I'll do next. Handles are out. Now the next part is to get the brackets and install those brackets where the handles were. Okay, so I hand started the bolts to put the upper brackets on. And I'm just going to get my cordless drill and screw them in a little bit faster. All right, so that's done. That was step 2. All right, yep. All right, so it says step 3, put the side storage panel on the upper bracket. Match the step spacer at the bottom of the bracket, the 2 holes, and slide the storage panel on the side of the storage panel. Confirm the position of the bottom bracket and mark it. Okay, I think I can do that. Okay, as usual with any instructions, you sort of have to do it, then maybe redo it. So also it comes with an Allen wrench, but I went ahead and grabbed my T-handle to make it a little bit easier. So that's where we're at. Just about have this one lined up. I'm gonna get this one lined up over here on the right, and then I'll do the adhesion promoter and we'll get it all affixed. I can tell you that if this box was not here, this job would be a whole lot easier, but I'm working around it. All right, so I have that in place. Okay, so I got the positions marked where I'm gonna put this, all right? So this is gonna be marked right here. See how I have it marked? So I took the cage out of the way, and I'm gonna get this installed, and then I'll reinstall the rest of it. And I'll repeat it on the passenger side as well. All right, y'all, so I got the driver's side done. So if you notice, I got it bolted up there. What I went ahead and did was there's a hole here, and then they have a hole underneath also, and a hole up top and a hole underneath. So I went ahead and did self-tapping screws on the top. I'll think about doing the ones on the bottom, but that's just a little extra support. Not that I think the tape that they supplied is going to come free, because holy smokes, that is some strong tape. But there's the driver's side, and I just have to repeat the passenger side now. All right, so here's the second side, or I should say the passenger side. Got it in. I just have to put the bolts in down the bottom there, but it's all lined up, and there's that. So far so good. All right, so let me catch up on something here. I got it all put together before, but I went back and I looked at their directions, and this talks about the screws, the long screws and the short screws. Well, I did all the screws, but I forgot to do the lock washer and the flat washer. So I went ahead and went back and I did all the lock washers and flat washers. So that's 10 total, so 5 on each side. So now I'm off to the next step, the shelving unit. Okay, so the next part is, I'm on number 7 now, and it says stick the shock absorbing cotton on the short bracket according to the shape of the hole. So it comes with all these, there's like 6 pieces right here. So it's sticky on one side and then foam on the other side. And if you notice, these 4 are similar in contour, and these 2 are not. So if you notice right here, you have a scallop. So this would actually be covering the scallop like that. All right, so that's where we're at, and it looks like I may be doing all the top side and the bottom side. So we'll see. Let me re-look at the instructions. It looks like there's going to be sticky here, and then also sticky right here. All right, so now that I have all the shelves put on, the brackets, I have to assemble the rear shelf. So this is the bar that has holes on two sides, and if you notice, I'm screwing them in here, and then here's three that so it lines up. So I'm just going to screw them in lightly, and then when I get the second piece on, and I get them lined up, then I'll tighten everything down. All right, so I got the 4 bolts connected in the back. Now I'm going to do the 6 bolts right here, and we'll get this thing put together, and then I'll run the other square tubing in the front so we can get it nice and secure. All right, that's the one side. Now we gotta get the other side done. All right, Crusaders, so there you have it. Here is my modular Molle storage shelf and Molle panels in the back of my 2003 Mitsubishi Montero. Now, it wasn't a difficult job. I think the most difficult part of this job is the heat of the Florida summer. So, but if you notice, I didn't have to remove the wooden box. The only other thing I have to do is I'm going to figure out, I'm probably going to take the hinges off here and connect them down by the seat so it'll lift up from the front instead of the side. And I still may put a piano hinge halfway down it so I can fold it back and then open it up that way also. So that's my thought process of it. But this video was on installing the modular Molle panel rack and shelving system. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to please like, subscribe, and share, and please leave a comment if this is something you think you'd be interested in. I can put the link in the description of where it was purchased from. I believe he bought this one off Amazon, but I also know that the last time I looked, Lusso Overland also carries the same type of system. God bless, and I hope to see each and every one of you on your own adventure. And don't forget, when I just looked about an hour ago, I'm only 65 people away from 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. And once I hit the 2,000 mark, I do have that giveaway to do. So, and then once I hit the 2,000, then I'll explain how you can enter. God bless everybody. Take care. Oh yeah, another shout out to my buddy Doc Martin for coming up with the idea of exchanging some services for this. Now, services, I was doing yard work for him, okay? Alright, Crusaders, so here's the almost finished project. So this right here, I'm going to keep it hinged here, and I'm going to, right here is about 14 inches from the side. I'm going to do a straight cut down there, do a piano hinge so I can still lift it this way, and the piano hinge will allow it to fold down on this side and stand upright so I can get into the under storage here. So this right here is my air compressor. Usually I have it somewhere down here or along the front. Now with this, I'm able to get stuff up out of the way and gives me access to my understorage where tools, fluids, you know, parts and stuff are located. Here's my recovery bag from Adventure X Outdoors. So that fits nicely in my spare winch line just in case we need an extension. I'm able to stick like my toilet papers and paper towels and stuff like that, but once I mount my Sea Sucker paper towel holder, I'll have that here and I don't have to worry about this over here. Let's see what else. I haven't figured out where I'm going to put the Molle panels. Maybe I'll just mount them somewhere over here, but that's what I'm looking at. In the comments, let me know what you think. Oh yeah, I put the handles back on, and I went ahead and put my attic storage on also. So there you go.